I don't mind giving good stuff now. It kind of hears, I think.
Yeah, as long as you have some pineapple with it, it'll make it taste better.
Oh, for the fuck. Oh my God, no.
Oh, dearie dear.
Yeah, but you know what though? If I eat like a lot of chicken, I can smell chicken if I'm peeing.
No, don't need to know that either.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I'm here to help.
Thanks,
All
Rita.
right.
Please
I had
stop
some-
helping.
I thought this was story time. No,
We
we're
were-
not even
we
started
went-
yet.
No, no, we're
It's
not.
alright, if
no.
I ever meet Tank Top, I'm gonna be sitting there going, yeah, this is the dude that's got the pee that smells like chicken.
Yep. Let's eat
Awesome.
chicken and asparagus. Green
Bear
chicken.
Grylls would love you.
All right.
Burr girls? What's a burr girl?
Bear
Oh.
Grylls.
I-
The survivalist.
Oh yeah. He would.
Drinks
He
his
would
own
dig
pee.
me. Yep.
You know,
Tastes like chicken. All right.
love Greg's.
All right. Let's podcast.
Okay.
How the fuck do you spell enchiladas?
E-N-C-H.
Carefully.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Here, I'll put
It's
it in
alright,
the chat for you.
Don't. It's all right. Okay.
The point of me saying we're going to
Got it.
start now was you guys being quiet.
Sorry.
We don't
Sorry
know
to
that.
teach-
Yeah, I'm telling you now.
Shut up.
Shush. Sheesh. Shush.
That was for Robin. What is this where?
And we are live. It is episode 388 of your Overseas Connection podcast. We are your gateway to a mature gaming community. That means we buy our own alcohol, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else about us is mature. We're gamers at heart. We're kids at heart. We're here to talk about video games, life stuff, all that good stuff. As I said, it's episode 388. We're closing in on 400. It's kind of crazy. I'm one of your hosts, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. And joining me today, September 17th, 2016, we have a fine cast of the podcast crew. We've got Mr. Robin Tate.
Hello there. Good evening, Robin Tate. That's me, isn't it? That's me. I think.
I'm pretty sure it's you.
And I'm in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. Bongo the Sean by name, Bongo the Sean by nature. Seeing the bongo, bongo the. Shut up. Anyway, it's a bit of a surprise. I didn't think I was going to be on this week, but I am.
Yeah, everything's a bit of a surprise, Robin, including our audio today, because I'm trying to get sounds to play, and I don't have an actual soundboard on the computer that I use, so we're doing some makeshift stuff. I'm hoping the chat could actually hear the intro music, otherwise it's all for naught.
I don't know. They might tell us.
yeah.
Chat. Did you hear the intro music? So yes, I'm here. We're like a sandwich in between two beauties, Greg.
We
Or maybe
are,
we're the bread, the filling. Maybe it's chicken.
might be chicken. Yeah, it might
Pineapple
be.
and chicken.
There you go.
Pineapple and chicken. There you go.
Hawaiian chicken.
See, that's
So,
a good combination.
The
Throw in a
tone
little
has been
teriyaki.
set for a wonderful show. So
It has.
Indeed.
Yeah. So who are the lovely ladies? They're real ladies.
Now you just sound just like Mr. Marcanix. Ooh, ladies.
I've
All
got a
right.
cold.
We have got Miss Kim Woods right underneath me. I feel like I'm in the old like Brady Bunch episodes because I see the four squares and the kids and they're all like pointing to one another and they're like, "Hey." Anyway, sorry, I just dated myself immensely. Kim, talk, please.
Yes. Yes, that's me. I'm GamerGirl27 or at GamerGirl27 on Twitter. You know, that's pretty much me everywhere. So yeah, here in the boonies of Missouri. You know, in my cave. So
I always forget you're in Missouri. I mean, seriously, every time you bring it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's in Missouri. You're not in Denver. You're not in Kansas
Come on,
City. I
who
tried
does?
putting you in both those places before.
nope, just Missouri.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
little town. You blink and miss it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for making the podcast. And certainly, last but not least, Miss Nicole Radowski. Nicole, how are you today?
Fine, I have a little. The dogs are fighting behind me. They're always doing something entertaining right when I'm supposed to talk.
Our
course.
fucking dog cast.
It's what-
Christ
I'm
almighty.
telling you.
It's what kids do.
They're divas. They just want to be on TV. That's all.
They just want the attention.
Yes. So
Ah.
I'm good. And I'll give all my 411 at the end because, I'd rather be drinking my wine and thinking of pineapple.
Oh, you've got your double D's again tonight. Great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's double D together. D.
Cheers.
I'm
Cheers on
not.
your-
I'm not gonna say it did not get lost on me, Nicole. The little slip
Yes.
in there at the last moment of in thinking about pineapple.
Right?
Just saying.
And by the looks of it, Nicole and I are sharing a bottle of Moscato tonight as well. So, cheers.
Yeah, that's right. Cheers.
Very
Oh
nice.
my gosh. My friends got some the other night that was like $20 a bottle, but it was on sale for $15.
Nice.
And we drank all of it, like in 5 seconds flat.
I'm jealous. I don't have wine. I have lemonade. That's my story
I have
this week.
water.
She's got water.
Water,
I feel-
lemonade. This half of the
You
podcast are sober.
Yes, Kim, go find Jesus. He'll turn that into wine.
Right? Or beer or something,
Mike Chin, where are you, Mike Chin? We need water turned into wine.
Right?
All right. Let's talk about our past week. I have been fighting off a cold. I woke up this morning thinking I was going to be sounding really worse for wear, but amazingly, I've kind of started on that recovery path. My wife, unfortunately, is completely down for the count. It's like knocked her on her butt. And then, of course, the little guy had it. He's bouncing back, so it seems like my wife Cindy took the worst of the wear. I'm just hoping this doesn't get worse for me. I'm supposed to be flying out to Chicago middle of the week, and the worst thing in the world is traveling when you're sick.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
no worse feeling. So
Whole plane load sick with you. I've seen that outbreak film. You'll
Yep.
condemn a whole town to being gassed by Donald Sutherland.
I
Morgan
still
Freeman
don't understand what these
will save the
fil-
day.
What is a film? What
Film.
is a film?
Fuck, I have 3 Americans in one room. Christ almighty. I've got a cold. Oh dear. I felt a movie.
Yeah, well, because I mean, when I start hearing you saying film, and I'm like, well, that's like a film. Anyway, all right. Enough of that.
Right.
No more
Carry
picking
on.
on the Irish guy.
I
You
do
get it
feel
enough.
But it is fun.
It is fun. He's lucky his hair's not red. That's all I
It
gotta
is.
say.
It was. Thank God I'm older and going grey. It was red when I was a kid. Parts of no, that's not good.
No,
No.
moving on.
All right, we're going to be muting the drunk ones shortly. All right, if you are tuning into this and you're probably wondering what in the heck these people are doing on Twitch, we do talk eventually about video games. That is the premise of this podcast, is we talk about video games. And of course, if you want to listen in to us every week, we are pretty consistent. 11 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. on the West Coast, and 6 p.m. if you're out in the New York East Coast area. There's other areas in the East Coast, mind you. And yeah, so we're right here on Twitch. You just type in twitch.tv/OC podcast, and you can watch us live. You can participate in our chat, or shat as we like to refer to it. And, good things happen to those who come in and watch us live. And so, to that extent, I guess, if there's any shout outs that we need to be doing, do we have anybody in the chat now, Nicole?
The Gamesman RPG, Spazzy McBobbins, Soul Brother, Scott's Tubby, RCGC, GG, myself, and Bongo.
And Bongo.
And Bongo.
So, all right. So here's a little thing for those in the chat right now. As you're listening to this, if you are interested in getting a 1-month access code to EA Access, I want you to be the first to type in the word, and it doesn't count for us, by the way, so nobody on the podcast can get this. Yes, but type in the word blue. First person that types in the word blue, Nicole, let me know who that is, And
Okay.
we'll want to make sure.
Not you, Bongo.
Yes, Bongo is not eligible. But yeah, so we'll have you reach out to me on Twitter or the dog,
Oh,
either or.
done. It's done. It's done. The dog.
The dog got it.
RCGC. RCGC gets it.
Yeah, Soul Brother
That's right.
misspelled it.
RCGC. So
RCGC.
do me a favor.
That's
Contact
Sarah.
me on Twitter at OC_Murphy's Law. Direct message me on Twitter, and we'll get you the code, and you'll get a month free of EA access. So can't argue with that.
Excellent. Very good.
All right, and I want to say a big thank you to Nick Auld for sending that to me. He
Old.
Auld, yes. I always want to say Auld because it's the AULD. I don't know.
It's Auld Lang Syne, like the song, which the Scottish.
Oh, what song?
Yes.
Lost on
Oh,
me.
fuck off.
It's completely lost on me. But Nick, thank you. That's the most important thing. Nick, thank you.
Oh, dear.
All right, let's move on.
Anyway,
Yes.
you know what? I might make it through the podcast tonight because I was out at a Mexican restaurant earlier today and I had enchiladas. And the Belfast and enchiladas is not a thing that generally goes together. So I was in this restaurant called Acapulco. and
Acapulco
it was
Lounge.
Fantastic.
Acapulco Lounge. That's
They
it.
did sell cocktails, and I had the Mexican beer with the lime stuck on the top of it. The lime in the coconut. No, but we had enchiladas and the lovely rice that comes with enchiladas and some
Spanish
salsa.
rice.
Spanish rice.
Right.
Well, no,
we
it's
have
called,
to.
but no, it's polenta rice or something like that. It's called
Polenta
there's
rice?
A, there is
Okay.
a,
Polenta.
it's like a polenta rice. Yeah, it's like spiced rice. Lovely.
Polenta.
No, just let him say
Polenta.
splenta.
It's not. You don't
Spelunky
pronounce
rice.
the P.
Spelunky
You don't pronounce
rice.
the P? All right. Yeah, Splunky rice. And Judith had some nice burritos, and Charlie had a little burrito, and because some of the kids were away. So yeah, it was
Right on.
great. And that was good. But wow, those things, enchiladas. Oh.
Good.
So anyway, so just prepping for next year. That's what it is.
But did
know,
you have
'cause-
margaritas?
No, we were driving. We're both driving. So sad.
You
But
both
I'm
were
having
driving.
double D.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So
That looks more like a C.
and for me, I mean, this time next week, it's going to be a completely different thing.
yeah.
You know,
Let's
I'm gonna
talk
be in
about this.
Birmingham at EGX, and Mark, my bud, he's going to be there, and we're going to meet a whole part of the crews from VG Hub, Veteran Gamers, Boss Wave, Pilch, and a whole crew. We're going to have a big camping trip up there. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mark is going on Saturday, and it's going to be great. I'm looking at the list of games that is going to be at the show. It don't look great. But it's not about that. It's about the fun that we have with the community when we get there. I think the biggest thing that's happening is there's going to be a public reveal of Dishonored 2.
Okay.
The public will get their hand, and that's I think a first for anything over here, for any of these shows. So hopefully that'll be good to come, or things to come in the future. But the big highlight for us, of course, is Saturday night, the Midlife Gamer MLGX party, and the Overseas Connection have a bucket load of prizes for them. We're giving them an Xbox Elite controller to give away, and some Steam vouchers and some PlayStation Plus vouchers. So that'll go into the pot with a raise money for charity on that night as well. So we'll have our wee bit in it as well, and the name will go out for the Overseas Connection at this show. And there will be karaoke.
Oh God.
So Mark and I have to pick our songs for karaoke.
Whoa.
what song are
Yeah.
you gonna sing? What song are you thinking about? Maybe that's the
Well,
better.
last year I was Freddie Mercury.
No.
Fat bottom girls, they make that rockin' world go round.
All right.
And I was there. I was in the moment. 7 beers later, I was in the moment. I was perfect. Well, after I thought I was perfect. So no, it's good fun, good crack. So looking forward to meeting members of the community. If you're at the show, please tweet me at Bongo the Scene or at Mark Annex for Mark, and let's meet up. Let's swap bodily fluids
No.
accidentally on the floor. and hug or shake hands or whatever we do, or write a note to each other if you don't want to get too close. But if you're at the show, please make a point. Make a point of sending me a tweet, and let's meet up there. I mean, there's little Richard Natras is going to be there. You can pat his head, and Chinny will be there, and Stu with his little belly, he's going to be at it as well. And Chris MJ Jubbly's wife, she always makes these lovely cookies. We call them biscuits. Gamer biscuits she makes, and they're absolutely fantastic. So all of these people will be there. All these very minor celebrities from the internet, very, very minor people that you listen to on a weekly basis.
Minor
So, come
or
see us.
grandiose gaming personalities.
Yeah. So, yeah, very excited. It's like Christmas. I love this, and I know the other guys love it as well. We have a great time, and as it says on my Twitter profile, mischief follows me around. And
I don't know that it follows you around, Robin. I think you actually create your own mischief.
yeah,
I want to
Maybe
go
a
with
bit.
he's an instigator.
Yep.
Saying
Yep. I think he is
Yeah.
definitely an instigator.
Now, the only problem I have is I'm bringing my 16-year-old son this time for the first. So I'm hoping that I can let my hair down in the same way, and what happens on tour stays on tour. So he may be bribed.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know that
So,
won't work, right? You know that won't
you
work.
have
Fine.
Trump hair?
You're
You
gonna
said you wanted
bribe
to
him.
let your hair down. I'm like, you have Trump hair?
Yeah, I'll get my extensions and all done for the show, so it really looks good.
Sorry
So
for the
the
cough.
other thing that will be happening next week, the show will not be live.
No, it will not
Unlike-
be live. So
So
next
the
week,
main
yeah.
cast and crew are taking a weekend off, and the EGX special, which is now a tradition, I think the last 3 or 4 years. So it'll be a VG Hub podcast, and there will be ourselves, there will be Boss Wave, there will be Veteran Gamers. Pilch will probably appear in there as well, and the nerd Kyle and Natras Richard, nerdy tainers. So yeah, so we'll be sitting around a microphone in a hotel room with a few beers, talking about what went on at the show. So that's always usually lots of fun. Mark will take that recording away with him, and hopefully we'll get it slot up on the Sunday, so you'll be able to hear all the biz from the show, and that's always a bit of a laugh.
Yes.
So that's going to happen next week.
Yeah. So
So-
I guess I like talk about how we're so consistent on Twitch every week. So next week we will not be on Twitch. We will be an audio only podcast. It'll be our EGX specialist, Robin noted. So just look for that on your favorite podcast listening app. Which by
Yeah.
the way, I tried using Google Play to do my podcast listening. I kind of hate it. So I've gone back to using my paid for app. Because it's just better. Just better.
So one thing to say, sorry, just finally as well, that we will probably try a bit of maybe Facebook Live. So we'll do maybe a bit of a live broadcast with Facebook, with us recording the podcast going on. I know Chinny will be recording throughout the couple of days of the show, and we'll stitch it all together, and we'll see that really soon after the show in about June, and or July maybe. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Good,
Fuck.
huh? So keep an eye out. So look at our Facebook page as well. Get logged in there, so you'll get the notification that we went live.
Yeah, do that. Also, follow us on Twitter at OC_podcast because we'll also make some announcements there. Obviously, if we're able to maybe somehow get this up on Twitch as well when you're recording. I've challenged Bongo and Mark to try and make that to happen, but we know it's going to be a remote setting. We know they're going to have limited resources, but if we can, we certainly would love to do that as well. But one way or another, you will hear something next week. So, all right. We've talked
Greg,
about... Yes.
Before you run off, Soul Brother wants to know what app you use.
What app
The one you paid for.
I use Beyond Pod.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is Beyond. It's called Beyond Pod, and there's a free version and a paid-for version. The free version lets you only download one podcast at a time, it's not really that big of a deal. The paid-for version, you can download a bunch of them at a time, and because I listen to a lot of sports podcasts and then gaming podcasts, and they all kind of come out in clumps together through the course of the week. So I like to just be able to kind of hit download on a bunch of them and then just listen to them as I go through the week. But it's a pretty good app. I like it. And I want to say it's like $2, something like that. So, it's not a big
Jesus
expense.
Christ. Greedy devs.
Oh my, it's totally greedy. All right. So we talked about EGX. We talked about the giveaway. We didn't talk about Extra Life. That is coming up. Extra Life is quickly coming upon us. I have finally signed up. Nicole, I believe you've signed up. Kim, have you signed up?
I've signed up.
All right. Nicole, I don't know if you are doing, are you doing Extra Life this year? Yeah. And then, of course, Robin, absolutely, you have signed up.
The whole team.
Yeah, the whole team.
Rich.
Yeah, I haven't signed up yet, but I am doing it, and that was one of the ththings I needed to get on this weekend.
Gotcha.
And get signed up for. But we had 3 soccer games.
Aha.
Holy moly.
3 soccer
And then
games.
somebody really needed a logo that they didn't use. Just kidding.
Well.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Well,
No,
so
me.
Extra Life, it is happening. We are actually all signed up for the VG Hub team, so it's vghub.net. If you go in and search that in Extra Life, you can find all of us within that team. And that team basically, it's a bunch of different podcasts. We're all kind of teaming up together, this union, and we're doing some good for kids. So that's the important part about it all.
I just need to know, Greg, are you a robot?
I am. Yes. Why?
Because in the outro, you have that vghub.net thing, and the
Right.
voice does that little skip thing.
Right.
And you just said vghub.net, and your voice skipped. And I'm like, this
VG
is a little freaky. Yeah, I was like, that's
He's a
just a little
lizard.
freaky.
A lizard in a
Yeah, I'm like, so you're not really human, are you?
No, I am not.
I should have known. Damn it.
All right. Well, there's that revelation. Yeah. So the Halloween prep, by the way, that is starting.
Oh,
We are
boy.
starting our Halloween
Senior
prep.
house. It's going to be bigger and brighter than last year.
Yeah.
The
Well,
house?
it's going to be different. So I can't. Well, I can say on here. I can't tell the neighbors. We keep this a secret from everybody around us. But so this year, we're doing a circus theme. So the day before Halloween, we're going to have a very fun, friendly circus theme out in the front yard. It's going to be very inviting. We're going to dress up and take Colin out trick-or-treating early, dressed up as fun, friendly clowns. But of course, Halloween proper, the circus will turn into a circus of horrors. And everything
Cirque du
is
Soleil.
yeah, exactly. And
So it's
we will
not
be
gonna change
we're going to be
from
dressing
day to
up
day.
as killer clowns and scare the crap out of kids. That's the plan. Yeah, clowns are scary, by the way.
Oh, they scare the shit out of me.
Indeed.
Yep. But because it's a kind of a big production at the house, we have, like, I went out to Home Depot today. I was buying PVC pipe because I have to make cages. That's actually for something other than Halloween, though. Never mind.
Well,
Well, at least you won't have to,
Leave your wife
you
out
won't
of
have
it.
to-
She's still ill.
you won't have to buy a red nose. That's all. That's the
No,
good
I
thing.
will not have to buy a red nose. Thank you, Robin. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have a story they want to talk about? And we talked about enchiladas. We've talked about Halloween, Extra Life. Should we talk about video games? People are
Sure.
probably wanting us to do that. So we can do that. Let's talk about video games. Kim, you haven't talked
yes.
in quite a while. Let's have you talk first.
Okay. Well, let's see. What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Witcher 3, so that might make some people happy because, it's not Dragon Age for a change. But I mean, I've been playing a lot of Witcher 3. I've finally made it to Novigrad after making it to Velen. So, and, I bitched about Velen, but more I'm around Novigrad, I'm just kind of like, you know what? This sucks too. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It seems like every time I turn a corner, I'm either running into a bandit or I'm running into a prostitute who's apparently playing a game with a John that I don't know about. But it sounds like he's gonna kill her, And then I get up there and try to defuse the situation, only to find out they're in a role-playing game, and he wasn't actually trying to kill her. So they're not happy with me. It's going good, and it's it's The Witcher 3. I did find it somewhat funny when I finally found the brothel that they sell bananas. And I got a good chuckle out of that one because I thought, is that for the nights when it's slow? I didn't go any further into it. But,
With a banana and a tailpipe.
Yeah, there you go. So, Witcher 3, I'm coming quite a ways with it. My little nephew who's 3, and don't judge me on this, he likes to watch me play The Witcher 3. So, we haven't done anything like I said, we haven't done anything in the brothel. He hasn't seen anything like that, but, he likes to watch me slice and dice the bad guys, and, he likes Roach the horse, so he's all excited whenever Roach is around. He's always worried when I bail off Roach to go kill some bad guys.
Your video with your nephew, yes. Roach.
Yeah, he likes Roach. So he gets all worried when I bail off Roach to go kill some bad guys, and then there's bad guys around Roach. He's worried that they're going to kill the horse. And I'm like, no, trust me, Roach is smarter than I am, so he'll be fine. So, And he is, because, he's still alive, and I've died multiple times. And it's bad enough, he'll look at me and he'll go, so are you going to die this time?
Yeah, that is true. That the horse, he's magic. I don't think I've ever seen the horse get killed.
No,
he does take
once.
damage though, and he does freak out. But I don't think I've ever seen the horse get killed in The Witcher. Sorry, I was laughing while you were talking though, because I was watching Nicole mess with the title and everything of the notes,
right?
back and forth. Yes,
I saw it going. I'm like, wait. I thought I'm looking at the keyboard going, am I touching anything? No, it's not me. All right, so.
No, it's my fault because I'm not used to the touch screen thing. See, all the little touchies, touch.
that was my
And
eye.
I hit the wrong key, and it screwed up everything. So sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's worse. I've been pushing this friggin' screen for 5 minutes, and I've realised it's not a touch screen.
All right.
Friggin'
Go
thing's
off.
not working. Yeah.
Okay. So Kim, let's talk about For Honor.
Let's.
We both have been in the alpha.
Yes.
Robin, did you ever make it into the alpha? I don't know, Nicole, did you
Yeah.
try?
It's still downloading.
Okay. So Kim, let's talk about For Honor.
Sure.
You actually were really positive on this from my reading of the chat that we had about this.
Of course.
I'm still mixed about it.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that don't know, right now For Honor has an alpha test going on. So they have limited people going in, just a few. I'm assuming these are not all of the modes that are going to be offered in the game, just a few of them. But it's 1v1, 2 versus 2, and then I want to say it's 4 versus 4, like
Something like
Conquest.
that, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so For Honor is a game about medieval. Well, I shouldn't say medieval because that's not really accurate either. It's about swordplay. So it's a fictional Renaissance time game. I really don't know what time period you would put this in. There's samurais, there's Vikings, and there's medieval knights, and basically it's all about sword duels. You're battling either 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, or in the Conquest mode where they actually have a bunch of enemy AI on the battlefield as well. The controls.
Tell me about your big sword.
I'm going to tell you. That's one of the things I really appreciate. There are no big, gigantic swords in this game. Nobody is wielding a sword that's like 5 times as long as their body.
So how
Not
do you
quite, but it's close.
slice pineapple?
So the way you slice pineapple is you hold in the left trigger, and then you're using your right thumbstick for either up, left, or right. And that will designate how you're holding your sword or axe. And then depending on the direction of where you're holding your sword, then you're going to use either the right trigger or the right bumper to swing. And it's a fast attack or a heavy attack.
Yep.
It sounds very simple. It is
it's
actually a
not.
very complicated, very intuitive system. Yeah, because you're using that same right analog stick to set up your parries and your blocks.
And I'm terrible at it. I'm awful.
Yeah. I'm not terribly great at it myself so far. It took me quite a while. You can play up against enemy AI bots if you want, um, and that really is probably the best proving ground to
That's what I did.
test.
So,
But the
All right,
AI, the
all
AI
right.
is tough.
Okay, so at E3 we've seen a load of Vikings and samurais running up a hill,
Right.
chasing other guys. Is there a story in it, or is it just a pure fighting game?
We don't
no,
know. We don't know.
um,
I mean,
actually, there is supposed to be a single player now. Whether it's going to be a story or you're just off by yourself fighting things, I don't know. But I do know that much.
yeah, I mean there is going to be a single player element to it. But like Kim said, we don't really know much about it beyond the fact that you can play against enemy AI. So, it could just be you doing a series of fight matches to go up the ladder, so to speak, and then get there. But given the conquest mode is interesting because basically when you're fighting one versus one and you're fighting against AI, it's like you're fighting against a named knight.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
A
So,
knight with a name.
think of it as like a boss character.
Me,
You're fighting against a boss
We
character.
are the knights who say, "Nee,
Oh, I knew I should have said
build
that.
us a nice rockery with some shrubs, some flowers at the top." Yes, 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 yes. Nee.
Nee.
Okay, you
Well
can't
done.
do that because you said flurs.
Monty Python. Okay, um, so you fight against a named boss, and those boss characters can then also appear in the conquest mode. The conquest mode has your army going up against an enemy army, and you have a bunch of foot soldiers that will progress the conquest line, so to speak. And depending upon how well your soldiers are doing against the other soldiers, that line is going to move forward or it's going to move back. And so the more territory you gain, obviously your line's moving forward. I don't know how that ultimately works in the end game. If there's like a ticket system that the more territory you're capturing, the more tickets you're getting, something to that effect. But in that mode, the boss characters can also appear, or other player characters on the other side. So you'll fight against them amongst all of the soldier characters. And this is probably where my one complaint comes in, is that in 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2, the control scheme is really, really good. I mean, I really like it. I think this game is fantastic and fun in those more, kind of one-on-one modes. When you get into this bigger conquest mode, the control schemes change depending upon who you're fighting. So if you're going up against grunt soldiers, you can't lock onto them. You can just swing your axe and kind of, just kill people randomly type thing. Whereas if you come across a named knight or boss character or another player character, you can lock onto them using the left trigger. But the AI and the way it's not the AI, sorry, the control scheme, the way it works in those big fights becomes a bit confusing because it'll change up. Excuse me, it'll change up depending upon who you're fighting. And then the camera gets a little wonky, and the UI, which is incredibly important in this game. So the user interface for where you're supposed to be basically holding your block or your parry. So you're using your right thumbstick, and if you come across a named, a boss character or another player character, they have the same UI in front of them. And so if they are holding their sword up high, you're going to see that their parry meter, if you will, is showing that it's high. And so you need to hold your sword up high too to block their attack. And if their parry system turns red, that means they're trying to strike you, and that's when you need to go up high with it. And then it'll switch depending on where they're holding their sword. Well, once you start getting the mass of characters on screen, those indicators start to get difficult to see because of all the different characters that are pushing up against you. Because I mean, you're literally just weighing into, just like oh God, what the hell was the Mel Gibson movie?
Braveheart.
Yes, it's Braveheart, basically. I mean,
Yep.
it's that
You
level of
can
fighting.
take our wives, but you can never take our whatever freedom.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So, Kim, I know you really liked this.
Mhm.
I like half of what I've been playing.
Yeah.
The conquest mode, I'm less enthused about.
And that's the mode I liked. So,
Different strokes for
go
different
figure.
folks, right?
There you go.
Um,
Well, see, my thing is, I'm terrible. Like at shooters, I'm terrible. But you give me a sword and like a bunch of guys. Oh yeah, I go to work. So that's not a problem. Terrible as that sounds, but yeah.
It's just
So
it's the grip. It's the grip. That's what it is, Kim. You just it's a single hand sword. Is a double handed
Does she
sword.
like to go?
I mean, do you chop? Is it a chopping motion? Is it like cat
Is it
chop?
like ketchup?
yeah.
Not the ketchup. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Ah.
Anyway,
So yeah, so
we-
For Honor, I think it's got good promise. I think if they do have a story mode that seems competent, I would be inclined to say I would buy this game.
when's it out, Greggles?
February 2017. Actually,
Supposed to be Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, yes.
Something to look forward to if you're me.
Absolutely. If your heart is
Yeah.
broken, go break another
Aw.
heart.
I'll
Or
kill
if
it.
your heart is whole, slice up somebody else's. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nope, I'll be packing.
Eloquent.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that.
How dare
Kim,
you
anything
call me
else?
that? Don't call me names.
Kim, anything else for you?
No, that's good.
All right, that is good.
And Greg,
Yes.
Fraser's a failure, epic failure. He couldn't get into the beta, alpha, whatever it was. Just FYI.
Yes, Fraser is a major failure. It's because he's Canadian. It's because he drinks syrup. He doesn't eat it. He drinks it. I've heard stories. All right. Let's see. Nicole,
Yeah.
let's talk about some zombie wars. What is this business?
So we have the little thing for if you have an iPhone, they have some little email that they send out that you get the free game of the day or whatever it is.
Okay.
And I downloaded this cute little Zombie Wars. See if we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's actually a crap ton of fun. You have to, they give you different zombies and you have to kill them different ways, but they send them in hordes, which isn't very helpful. And you have to upgrade your little turrets and all this other stuff in order to combat it. And you're supposed to get 3 stars out of, the 3 stars in order to complete everything, 3 gold stars, and then you move on. I've gotten 1 on a couple of them and had to go back and redo some stuff. So it's a little challenging for just a little handheld game, but if you want to have fun and you're sitting at a soccer game for the 3rd time in the day, well, it's a good little game.
Okay.
And not bad because it was a freebie through, what is that? App Gratis is the one that I use to get the free games for iPhone. I also have it on my iPad.
On your iPad.
You do all right.
Yep. Doubling
Yep,
up.
that is about that and Minecraft are all I've played, sorry. And I know you are tired of Minecraft, so didn't even write it down for you.
I get accused of all kinds of things.
I tell you what, all those mini games look fun, Nicole. I don't know if you've been playing those, but they look fun. The kids are all at those.
Oh, my kids love the mini games.
I
But-
giggle at those.
I can't get my internet. The internet company I have sucks gigantic ones. And
Do you care to name them?
Oh, I'll name them. WoW. Because they're not WoW.
Oh, it's
But-
it's literally called WoW.
Yeah, it literally is called WoW, and they suck. They just suck the worst. And so I constantly have strict NAT, even though everything's been set open. My brother's tried to fix it. And actually, my friend's husband's going to come over one of these days when he's not on travel and try and fix it some more. But my kids and I can't even play a game. We're in the same freaking house. Can't even play a game. Makes me crazy. So I watch them
awful.
play.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez, you girl's got a lot of problems tonight. She has a lot of problems.
Well,
The only thing that's keeping her alive is those dogs. Yep.
Speaking of girls that have problems, Robin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been doing. It's kind of weird this week for me. I've been very busy work-wise, but I have played stuff.
You have played
I'll start with
stuff.
the one on the stuff. I mentioned a game that I finished last week, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, and I went back to it and played couch co-op with Charlie, my youngest.
Okay.
And the first night there's another mode in it which is like a single screen. It can be up to 8 players, and it's like single screen, like six little platforms with weapons and grenades splattered all around the place. And it's literally a death match. You go around to kill each other, and there's lots of options in it. You can set it to machine guns or shotguns only, or all this, or RPGs only, all that sort of stuff. Great fun, great laugh. And then the next night we started to play the actual game together as co-op, and that is a brilliant little game. If you don't play Guns, Gore, and Cannoli and don't buy it, something will fall off you. So I'm telling you now, you must buy this little game. It's great fun, especially if you can do it co-op with people. I'd love to play co-op online with some of the community guys. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. I played Star Trek Online. I know Mark was waxing lyrical about it, and I've played a couple of hours of it. This is the game I want to be so much better. I know it's an older game now. I want this game. I want everything in this game, but I want it to be slicker and brought up to date. It is like a Mass Effect sort of feel to it as well, but flying around in space and an Enterprise and the phasers and all of that lore, I want to be in there, but it's just too clunky and shunky, and other shunky words with ending with Y, that it's not very playable. And maybe you can forgive all those things, and I'm sure there's lots of people playing it, but it's just too much. Too much.
Okay.
Okay. And finally, I never, ever, ever finished or give it enough time Beyond Good and Evil. So I'll backwards compat again. Beyond Good and Evil HD, which originally came out in 2003, long before I was born. And it was remastered in 2011 on the Xbox 360. Made by Ubisoft. Sure, I don't know. Have you all played this to completion? Have you played Beyond Good and Evil?
I also struggled to get into it. When I first played it, I was bored to tears with it.
I think it's brilliant. It's great. Jade and PJ and the Iris Network, and it's got a spy thing. And this deserves the remake that never came. When your man Michael Ansel, who developed it, who's still developing it, this deserves a remake. It's very, very good.
I don't know if it does deserve a remake. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's
or maybe another
terribly
story
well.
in that universe.
Yeah.
The characters were good. The universe was good. The baddies were good. It was tongue in cheek here and there.
Yeah, but this is like, I mean, Robin, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here just for a moment, and this is going to, Mirror's Edge. Everybody said, "Oh my God, Mirror's Edge! It was such a good game. It didn't really sell well. Nobody, everybody loved it. We need a remake. We need a remake." And they made the remake, and it fell on its face.
But it was shit before, and it's shit again.
But it wasn't shit before. It was just like this game. It was just like this game. Everybody, the media loved Mirror's Edge. Got very good reviews. The media loved Beyond Good and Evil. Gave it all kinds of critical acclaim reviews, and both did not sell well. And then, part of me wonders if it's, an acquired taste.
I don't know. I think it's good. Fuck you. And I think people better think it was good. I think the camera angles are a bit chunky. It shows its age with the controls and the save system, but I think it's worth a few hours of your time. So I'm enjoying it, and
I will do this. I will go back and try it again. I'll give it a try.
Yeah. The only other gaming sort of related thing that I've done this week was I watched the follow-up to Indie Game the movie. It just became available on UK Netflix. And although not as good as the first one, because the first one, all these new characters, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Felt it was very, very interesting. Phil Fish is still a twat. Maybe not as much of a twat, but he's still a twat. But it secured my feeling for the guys at Team Meat. Those are nice, solid fellas that I would like to meet.
Right.
Excuse the pun. They're just nice guys. And I actually went out and bought The Binding of Isaac. I know that's quite a dark game, but that's by one of the guys from Teammate. And thought, no, straight after the show, I went and bought it. So I'm gonna play that over the next week or so. So yeah, that's good. That's a good watch. So watch that. Good gaming thing. Good gaming. To find out what it's sort of 4 years later, what happened to those guys, what they're doing now, and that sort of thing. So,
Okay.
and that's what I've been up to.
All right. Well, I can wrap things up fairly quickly. Besides For Honor, I got back into playing some XCOM, prepping myself for XCOM 2 coming out to console, which is just 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's on the
away.
page now.
I'm
It's on the
excited.
page.
And then Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. I've been continuing on. I'm now in the final kind of stage of the game, and we just lost Kim. Magically disappeared,
Oh,
and
she's there.
back.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on. She dropped her call. She came back.
Her squirrel broke its leg.
Her squirrel broke its leg. Very well could
on
be.
that note,
Yeah.
poor Womble was in the chat all by himself until he realised he was in the old chat. Wondering where everybody was. God bless him.
Oh. Well,
Oh, dear.
yes, Nick, if you're joining us now, thank you. All right. So where was I? So XCOM, been playing some of that. And I realize now I'm probably going to have to adjust cameras in a second if Kim can't get back on. And then, so Deus Ex, this game is a good game. I'm kind of sticking with my thoughts from last week of it not being a great sequel. I think it's a good sequel.
Didn't deserve a remake.
I don't think it deserved the remake they gave it. How's that? How is that, Bongo? That we can agree on. It didn't deserve the remake they gave because they just kind of updated a little bit of, the graphic overhaul was there, but storytelling wasn't necessarily a big improvement. The gameplay mechanics are largely the same. So it kind of was just like, we're going to give you a little prettier version of more of the same. And I don't think ultimately that is enough. So, this sits right in that kind of 7 range for me. It's good. It's competent. It does everything you want from a Mankind, Deus Ex Mankind follow-up. But, yeah, it doesn't excite me when I'm, when I'm getting ready to play the game. I'm not like, oh my God, I cannot wait to jump back into Deus Ex. Whereas before,
yeah.
that's how I felt about Deus Ex. I mean, I was really excited to play Deus Ex. I wanted to get back in and play more of it. And, what, ladies? What, you little chatty
You're
little...
texting.
I realize you are. What are you texting? She's talking about her internet. Probably she's taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Giant shit. Yes,
Yeah.
my internet. Yeah.
So we were doing emoticons back and forth, just giggling at the
Got it.
stupidity.
All right. Fair enough.
Nicole's internet sucks, and then mine goes and dies on me. So
It's scary when
Nice.
we're saying Robin's internet has been the most stable out of the 3.
right?
That is
To
scary.
be sure, to be sure.
Anyway, so yeah, so Deus Ex. Look, I would say this: if you are thinking about getting this game, wait for a sale. Don't pay a full 60 for it. I just don't think it's worth 60 in the face of all the other games we have coming out now. All right, let us do some news. Robin, so I'm going to let you speak to this first piece of news. You pulled this up. This was kind of interesting, and I had a very jaded take on this piece of news. But I'll let you talk about it first, and then we'll maybe banter about it for a second.
Yeah. Okay. Well, No Man's Sky. That's a thing. That was a thing. What happened to No Man's Sky? Well, the head of Sony Worldwide Studios, Shuei Yoshida, he was interviewed quite recently there, and he said that he thought it wasn't a great PR strategy on the run-up to the launch of the game. He was quoted to have said, "I understand some of the criticisms, especially Sean Murray, is getting because he sounded like he was promising more features in the game from day one." Yoshida said,
Hiya, it was.
no, he didn't say it that way. It wasn't a great PR strategy because he didn't have PR person helping him. And in the end, he's an indie developer. But he says their plan is to continue to develop No Man's Sky features and such. And I'm looking forward to continue playing the game. So I think he's sort of saying there that Sean maybe wasn't media savvy and he was a bit greenhorn about talking about the game. And he was maybe bigging up more than what he could dish up. So it's kind of it, you know. It's he was inexperienced and maybe said too much.
So
Oh,
let me. So I like Shuhei Yoshida. I think he has done pretty well for Sony, and from a public relations standpoint, he's been a good executive face for a lot of things. But to me, he just fucking threw Sean Murray in front of the bus. He was just like, "Here you go, bus is coming. This is not our fault." And yet, Sony is the company that backed this game. You know, they paid for the exclusivity of it. They created a $60 product. I can't imagine Sean Murray was the one pushing for this to be sold at retail for $60. I have no doubts in my mind that it was Sony that came forward saying we should make this a bigger bigger product. We can make it a disc-based game. We could sell it on store shelves. And Sony had their hands all over this game for the past 2 years. And so it's for them to be saying, well, he didn't have a PR person to help him out. What the fuck are they doing? They should have been helping him out. They should have been saying, look, we're going to get a PR person to help you out. We're going to get in front of this. We're going to help you with your interviews. And instead, now it's like, well, everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket. Well, that was Sean Murray. He was saying all this stuff. It wasn't us. They're the ones that put that trailer out at E3 last year saying this is gameplay footage. And it looks fucking nothing like what the game looks like in real life. So, I don't know. This is really, to me, kind of...
Part of me likes that someone is brave enough to come out and says something as controversial as that. Because you would usually not get a direct answer. And it might be a slightly dishonest answer. But at least it's a good, solid answer. It's not like, oh, well, we've done the best that we could with it. And everything was as expected. And... people built it up more and outside the media, and then they wished it to be better than what it was. He could have said something like that, but he didn't. He threw him under the bus.
I mean, if I'm an
which
indie,
is more interesting.
If I'm an indie developer, though, I mean, I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, they didn't have his back at all. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing for Sony to be kind of coming out here and just being like, yeah, this was all Sean. He shouldn't have been saying that.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting point. I'll take that on board.
Anyway, all right. Enough of that. We will move on. South Park, The Fractured But Whole, has been delayed to 2017. I think this is actually a good thing for this game. I think this holiday is going to be crowded enough as is. It was originally going to be coming out December 6th, which we now know also is going to have Dead Rising 4 as well as The Last Guardian. So having this game coming out on that day with those as well, I think it just, it's good for it to move away from the holidays and completely get out of the holiday time frame, get into Q1. I think this game is going to do fantastic in Q1. I think it was a smart move on their part.
Yeah, well, there's no trying to squeeze a butthole in where it shouldn't be. Better a fresh butthole in the new year than an old butthole with too much in it.
No.
Because there's just too much in that butthole in that time.
I'm with Nicole on this one. No, just no.
Oh, fuck's sake. South Park. Come on.
All right. PS4 got an update this past week. I know among the features that came out, it also got HDR support for the PlayStation 4s. My understanding also is that it's a custom version of HDR, and that's how they're kind of getting away with it, because it's not really an HDR10 or the Dolby Vision standard. So they're using kind of their own HDR solution for the PlayStation 4s. But on top of that, there was a lot of good UI stuff. And Robin, I think you have been checking that out. I don't know if Nicole has.
Yeah, well, I mean, the update actually does look good. I mean, some of the guys from Kotaku have checked it out and sort of reviewed it in depth, and they're saying it's a nice thing. The features are makes them better for the console. It's a sort of a basic redesign of the interface and making it easier to get into things like Spotify and your friends and stuff like that there, and quickly change your online status, which is neat. So they've sort of sped it up a bit. So it was a good interface anyway, and I think they're just making it better. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Sony people.
That is,
Sony.
and last little piece of news before we get into the important things. Axiom Verge is coming to the Xbox One, apparently September 30th, for those that are interested in that game. I am not one of them. I'm not a shmup type person. I believe this is one of those games. It's just bullet hell.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, for those that like those kind of games, more power to you. I just not a fan. And I guess a lot of people are excited about Destiny Rise of the Iron.
Yeah, Rise of Iron. Yeah, Rise of Iron.
Rise of Iron, sorry, yes.
Yeah, I put my ironing board up
Just
and I do the
Womble.
ironing.
Well,
No,
it's not just Womble, though. I've been hearing a lot of people talking
I'm
about
It
it.
does look good.
I
It
haven't
does look
even
good.
Yeah.
messed with Destiny in so long.
Yeah, no, I have it now. I haven't played it. I don't know. I think it's just I'm too far past it to get back into it. But like I did say, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about it. A lot of different podcasts, both professional, non-professional. Everybody's kind of raving about it. So apparently they're making some good changes.
Tempted to fire it up. Tempted to fire it up again.
Yeah. All right, we had a bunch of Facebook questions. We've got podcast trivia to get through, and then we do have a couple speak pipes. So why don't we do the community questions? Kim, I'm going to have you read the Facebook questions out to us, and we'll answer. We'll try and
Alrighty.
get through this fairly quickly.
Let me get it up there then.
I love see that. This is me throwing people, in under the bus.
In the bus.
Yay! Yeah.
Yes.
So actually,
It's a short
in the bus.
though, so it's okay. It's a lot less dangerous bus.
Yes.
The wheelbase is shorter.
Well, while Kim's looking that up, on the Facebook page, Mark did put up a poll, and the poll was, is it cool or uncool to have your gamer tag on the back of your t-shirt going to EGX? And there was lots of comments under that, so it was a dilemma time for him because he didn't want to look like a prat. But Facebook said, yes, do it. Get Mark Annex on the back of your t-shirt. So I look forward to seeing his t-shirt that he has created for EGX next Saturday.
No.
So
Not that he has created.
yeah, okay.
Nicole
He's already
created it.
texted me.
All right.
Thank you for the code. Yeah, so it'll be good.
So
Yeah.
Nicole, somehow you have to with the images embed a phallic symbol that he's not going to readily recognize, but it'll be on his back. All right,
Evil.
I'll put a
Evil, I
pineapple on
say.
there
there you go.
And-
There,
Little pineapple.
there you go.
with "Eat Me."
All right, Kim, Facebook.
Yes.
Let's get some of these questions out there, please.
Alrighty, we have one from Gary Default, the real Defoe. And he says, who's ready to rejoin the fight in Destiny? I just pre-ordered the new DLC. Come on, Guardians, you'll find me back on the PS4.
Gary.
Okay.
You'll be alone.
So,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Gary.
Hey, you'll be alone. Most everybody
Yeah.
I know is on Xbox.
Xbox.
yep, it'll
Wait.
be an Xbox. So sorry.
Gary could get
Well,
it
with
on
the-
Xbox though. He has an Xbox now. He actually
I know,
He
but
has
he'll be by himself on Destiny, just like the way he's by himself with the team that he supports.
I want to say that's true. I really want to say that's true. It sadly, I think, is not the case. It's actually
Not
me
true.
that's probably by myself with the team I support.
I'm just rooting for you, boss.
I'm the underdog. All right, let's move on.
Alrighty, we have Adamski UK who asks, if you could jump into a pool of something, what would it be?
Pineapple juice. No, wait, what?
Yeah, damn it. I was gonna say pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
It would be
This
chicken.
week, pineapple.
Wow. So a pool of something. I mean, a pool of money. I'd be all over that. But I mean,
And
if
my
we're
bird.
talking about liquid here or semi-liquid, maybe let's limit it to those two things.
Semi-liquid.
Well, like pudding, it's not
Not what I
liquid.
was thinking, but pudding will work.
Yeah. No,
Custard.
I was thinking Jello.
I was thinking Jello too. That's a semi-liquid. That's jiggles
I
and
was
everything.
thinking Jack Daniels, but that's just me.
Yeah, see, I went to the alcohol at first, but then I was like, man,
did
you
what?
open your eyes underwater, you were going to be pissed. That's not going to feel good.
What, have you opened your
Goggles.
eyes in pudding? Hello.
Jello, that would be freaky.
Did you ever see that? What was that? Was it in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 1 or 2,
Mhm.
where he takes her into that Jello house that he makes?
No,
That's so cute.
No, I
You
missed
have
that
a
one.
kid and you haven't seen that?
no.
It's so stinking cute.
All right, okay.
I think Robin's constipated. I'm just throwing.
It
out.
looks like it. Right?
I would like to jump into a pool of Swedish models.
Yeah, see, again, Rob, we're going back to the liquid semi,
And the pool of it's full of Swedish
Here.
models. The pool of Swedish
Yeah.
models. I want to jump into the middle of the Swedish models.
fair enough. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
he has had less than me, and he's already swaying and
He's a finely tuned athlete. This
I
alcohol
am.
hits his body.
Yeah. Training
right,
for next
Kim.
week.
Next question.
Yes.
finally
All right.
tuned alcoholic. Then
Hardeep Lolly asks, what game character best represents each one of you?
Octodad for me. I've already
my
thought about this. I'm
God.
Octodad.
Octodad, that's all right. This is becoming.
Oh my God, that's you.
It's more accurate by the moment.
Who is the most sarcastic? Oh God.
God, I don't even
See,
know.
Well, see, my thought process was first of all, I thought of Wheatley, and I'd like to have been a Wheatley, funny
Right.
sometimes with a nasty streak. That could be me. But and then I went, oh, Atlas is about my shape. So yeah, no, Octodad seemed to fit me with all the kids and all the wobbliness and the clumsiness and the wobbly talking. So I'm Octodad.
I think for me, maybe Baird from Gears.
Yeah, see, I was thinking
Yeah.
Dizzy for me because he's so sarcastic.
Yeah.
But so is not Alex. What's her name? Sam.
Sam. Yep.
If
Sam.
you read the books, I could totally be Sam because she's basically tells the boys to shut the fuck up, drinks with the boys, smokes with the
Which-
boys, and
She slices all over herself.
if half these people knew what we were talking about,
No,
they would-
there are
I
lots of
know, right?
yeah.
Okay. What about you, Kim? What would you-
Yeah, what would you be, Kim?
Well, I'm like Nicole. I'd say Sam because I'm sitting here trying to think of a socially awkward, person, and so far I can't come up with one. So
No, but she's the same. We're very similar, you and me, anyway. With the
Yeah.
alcohol, the shooting, the hanging out with the boys, because we're more tomboyish, and
Right.
so it makes Sam
exactly.
makes
Yep.
I mean,
Good question.
yeah.
Good
I
question.
was thinking The Witcher
Definitely.
3 is somebody I would like to be just because of all of the women.
You just want to play
Yeah.
on a unicorn.
Exactly.
Well, if that's the case, I'm thinking I want to be Triss. Then I'm just saying,
All right.
Anyway,
Moving on.
carrying on. Demarcus Parks says if he could pick a character, it'd be Commander Shepard from Mass Effect or the Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition. All right, next question.
Sorry, I've
It's
changed my
back
mind.
from-
I'd be Lara Croft, I think.
You don't
You-
have nice boobs and an ass. Moving on.
Yeah, but Robin,
Yeah.
you would just sit there in front of the mirror and stare at yourself.
Yep.
Yep.
I wouldn't leave the house. Yep.
Yeah. Robin in his tank top. Anyway, Batch Gaming asks, did any of you pick up BioShock the collection, and do any of you agree it's the best single player series out there?
Best single player series out there. That's
I think
debatable.
it's one of-
I don't
one-
I don't think so.
I think it's one of the very best single player games of all time. I would love to pick this up just for the commentary, but it's 50 quid. It's
Yeah,
too much.
it's
I would
ex-
love
Yeah,
it.
but
It's supposed to
isn't
be.
it all of the games? Is it not
Yeah.
all of Bioshock?
It
So
is. It
it's
is all
1, 2,
three.
3. But I've played all
Okay.
three, and they are
Yeah.
single player experiences. But I want to play one again. And I would play the DLC, which I didn't play, which is Minerva's Den, which is part of 2, I think, which is supposed to be some of the best game DLC ever made. But Bioshock was fantastic. You know,
I mean, Bioshock
would you
is
kindly-
good.
Brilliant.
Would you please, the listeners? Would you kindly get me a copy?
No.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Listeners buy us copies. Yeah. No,
Please.
Robin.
But
But
yeah.
I mean, the first one scared the absolute shit out of me. There's a couple
Yeah.
of scenes in there where I mean, I know, and I couldn't even play Dead Space because Bioshock creeped me out so bad that the jump scare thing, I can't do that. I'm old, I'm decrepit, and I'm gonna have a heart attack in the middle of a video game. So no.
That's true. Yeah, I think back to the original Bioshock, and there's that one area you go into
Yes.
with the nurse, the
Yes.
slicer nurse. Oh my God, yeah. That's
Yes.
like, this may not last very long in my collection here, because I couldn't handle it either.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. It was
But
a good
it is
game.
really good. Best all time though, like best single player series out there. I
I'd
don't
have to put
know.
Half-Life up there as well.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2 would be there. Bioshock would be there.
Dead Space was
Ah.
pretty good. I mean, I know the last one was a bit of a
Dead
disappointment, but I
Space-
mean, it was
Dead Space 2, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I look at Uncharted, and even though it's not a only single player game, I look at the series of the single player side of that, and I think that is the definite cream of the crop as well. I would throw that up there too.
Yeah, but I would make it more popcorn movie. I think BioShock and Half-Life would be it's grittier, more visceral. Where
But
Uncharted is
I
a bit
would
more-
say to you, I enjoyed Uncharted more than I enjoyed BioShock.
I'm
so.
glad.
I'm
I'm
glad,
glad
for your
you
gladness.
found your level.
Yes, bastard. All right, Kim. Next question.
That's all the questions. So
PG tips. Oh, from Twitter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
that's
from
all the Facebook
Twitter.
questions. so-
Yes, Kim. I'll give you full reign. Go ahead and read through the Twitter question as well.
All right, give me a second to pull that up. So you know,
And
Kim
actually,
herself-
Right
you,
here.
you don't. It's just a thank you to Paul
Oh.
PG Tips for tweeting us with a code for Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and then
Gotcha.
also thank you to Nick Ald for doing the same thing with the EA Access code. All right, we're at that time. Podcast
Home
trivia
time?
time.
This is what I get for not reading the show notes because there are the questions. All right, I feel like an ass now. Anyway,
It's
carry on.
okay. So podcast trivia. This is where if I was totally prepared, I would have everything ready to go. But there's an important thing. We have an update on the scoring. I've gone through. I got all of the scores, so we're all up to date. So as things stand, there's a three-way tie.
I
Kim,
like the re-
Nicole, and Mark are all tied at 5.
That
And
should
Robin,
make Mark totally happy.
yes, Robin, you are sitting right behind the group at 4. So this is a rather important podcast trivia section because Robin could potentially take the lead. One of the two of you could take the lead, and Mark, nowhere to be seen. Mark decided he was too tired to make the podcast tonight, so therefore he is penalized greatly. All right, so here we go. Podcast trivia, 2 questions. They will be multiple choice. You will need to put your answers into our show notes so I can see them.
Hey!
Hey, what?
I'll take Fraser's spot.
Ah, there you go. Yes. Take Fraser's spot, Nicole. Thank you. In fact, and Robin, you can be Mark.
I'll be me.
And Kim will be Kim.
Yes.
Let me be frank.
All right.
Sometimes I'm frank, and sometimes I'm not.
Perfectly executed. Here we go. First question. In the lore of Overwatch, the character
Jesus
Anna is the mother of which character? In the lore of Overwatch, the character of Ana is the mother of which other character? Is it A, Mia, B, Tracer, C, Widowmaker, or D, Pharah?
I think I remember.
Are you guys good with the answers, or do you want me to read them out to you again? I think we have all of our answers in place.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have Kim and Robin both saying Widowmaker. And we have Nicole saying Pharah. It is fitting that the one person that actually plays this game would get it correct. Nicole, it is in fact Pharah.
Y'all, Widowmaker's the same age as Ana, just FYI.
I need more wine.
I don't
No,
play the
you don't.
games.
Magic. All right, well done, Nicole. Nicole gets a point.
Thank you.
Well
Woo!
done,
Moves
Nicole.
into the lead. All right, question number 2. Here we go. Which video game controller was the first to have vibration in it? Or more commonly known as the rumble feature. Which video game controller, I want to be very clear about this, which video game controller was the first one to have vibration in it, more commonly known as the rumble feature? Was it A, the Sega Dreamcast, B, the Nintendo 64, C, the PS1, or D, the PS2? Which video game controller originally was the first, to have rumble or vibration in it? Just wanted to make
Let's
sure.
get ready to rumble.
Go ahead and give me your answers now, please.
Oh, please go away.
All right, we have 3 different answers. Kim has said the PS1, Robin has said the Nintendo 64, and Nicole has said the Sega Dreamcast. And the correct answer is the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I have one, baby,
I'll
and
be
you've got a
darned.
rumble.
Yep.
I've got a rumble.
I
pack.
don't remember that rumbling ever. I do know that
No, yeah.
the Dreamcast had it.
It was the controller had a rumble pack that you had to put into it to make it rumble.
Oh, which would be why mine never rumbled. But the Sega, it came in it like it was part of the controller. The Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Zip it.
All right, well done.
Well played.
Yes, to both of you. So, Nicole, you
Still with
have
the lead.
you've gotten into the lead. Robin, you have pulled even with the other 2, so you are now still in second place.
I got a question right without guessing.
That's good. I like it.
Progress.
All right. Speaking of progress, let us move on to our new releases.
Burb.
Nicole, if you wouldn't mind, maybe walk
As soon
through
as
our
my
new
computer decides to cooperate. So the new releases for September 17th through September 23rd. There are none on the 17th. I love it. They all begin on September 20th. Air Conflicts double pack for the PlayStation 4. Criminal Girls 2 Party Favors. I can see Bongo and Mark all over that damn game. That's for the Vita. Dear Esther Landmark Edition for Xbox One and PS4. Destiny Rise of Iron Xbox One and PS4. Destiny The Collection Xbox One and PS4. Oh my god, I almost misread that. Jazz Punk
Well, pineapple. and all.
PS4. Killer Instinct, like my face is turning purple. Definitive Edition Xbox One. NBA 2K17 for everything. Xbox One, PS4, 360, PS3, and PC. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs for PS4, 3, and Vita. Wheels of Aurelia for PC. And that does it for the September 20th releases. On September 21st, we have Agenda for PC, Mac, and Linux. And that's the only release on that date. And then we have on September 23rd, Warhammer 40,000 Eternal Crusade for the PC.
I'm going to be picking up that Wheels of Areola, definitely.
That is not what I said. Aurelia is what I said. And that does it for all of our releases, upcoming releases, for the 17th through the 23rd.
That works. Yeah, and so those of you at home watching us live, hopefully it's being a somewhat smooth experience. I've been watching the frames, the frame rate dipping down on the OBS monitor, so I'm like, it may be a choppy experience. Apologies if it is. All right. Monthly freebies, by the way, for those of you on Xbox Live. Games with Gold has switched over now to Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. That is available from the 16th through October 15th. So if you did not pick that up before, you can get that now. And backwards compatibility. Speaking of Mirror's Edge now backwards compatible, available as an Xbox Live giveaway for Games with Gold. All right. Where are we at? Robin, why don't we talk about what's going on in the community, the Forza stuff, the Victories Achieved stuff?
Yeah, okay. Well, Forza Racing still goes on every Wednesday night UK at 9 o'clock with the track guys. Good fun. But the big thing that's coming next week for all the VIP guys, I think it's about the 24th, you will get access to Forza Horizon 3. The demo has been out and it's wonderful. I haven't played it, not touching it because I can't wait. But there will be an OC podcast club on it, and we'll be having lots of racing nights on Forza Horizon 3. And don't forget to join the new Xbox Clubs feature if you are in the preview program. There's lots of people have already done that. And if you go and search for OC Podcast and join our club, not that much there at the moment, apart from people joining, because the features aren't really switched on yet. But we'll be setting up game nights and of all sorts of games in there. But yeah, so Forza Horizon 3 is coming, and I can't wait. Victory Achieved is our ongoing competition, runs every 3 months, or it runs for a 3-month period cycle, and pretty much it's all about finishing those games. And when you finish those games, take a picture of yourself with the titles in the background and tweet it off to @OC_podcast with the hashtag Victory Achieved. It'll be noticed by myself, and semi-witty reply may come forth, and you get entered into a draw to win some money to buy games, and that's drawn at random every 3 months. The next time will be in the 30th of November. And with every game you complete, you raise money for horrible, smelly children who are sick. Because with every game you complete that's over 4 hours, I'm putting in $1 into the pot. And we're raising money. And we'll talk about that in a second. People completed games this week. Scott Stubby finished Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Natras Richard finished Red Dead Redemption, didn't like it at all. Mr. Miyagi 1984.
I know.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Way to zoning him.
Yes.
I'm going to
Yeah.
tap him on the head like Benny Hill. Yep, sauce
Like
bottle
ketchup.
on the head.
Ketchup.
Yep, like ketchup. Mr. Miyagi, he finished Red Faction Gorilla, an old blast from the past. Fraser Moo finished The Room 3. Caliburn M also went back in time and went to Warhammer Space Marine. He must be getting ready for the new Warhammer game. Che Brones played a classic and nothing will fall off his body. He played and finished Guns, Gore and Cannoli and absolutely loved it. Marcanix, he's been on a roll with the biggies this week. He finished out Fallout 4. He finished Rise of the Tomb Raider. And he finished Monument Valley. And that's a little game. And you all have to play it as well because it's fabulous. Brilliant game. So when you do complete those games, you also go into the other competition for a mug and a t-shirt, and that's coming to an end actually when Extra Life stops. So at the moment we've raised almost $300, $287 for the kiddies. So, and there's 52 people have been doing that. And there's a new person in the chat. Scott Zubby is new to Victory Achieved. So good lad, Scott. You've made a little child slightly happy with $1. In that chart at the moment, the top 5, Caliburn M is on 39.5 points, almost about to hit the 40. Amras is second. Mr. Miyagi is third. Kyle Adamski, he is fourth, and Companion Cube is still in fifth. So there we are. Do that.
So
Yeah,
there.
Scott's Tubby
Awesome.
is Andrew, not Scott.
Andrew. Oh, right,
Yes.
okay.
He's
I'm
Scottish.
not Bongo either. So
Yeah. All right. We do have a couple speak pipes. So originally I was trying to finagle how I could get this to play in the audio through Skype because I don't have a soundboard on this computer. That completely did not work apparently. So I'm going to do the old-fashioned way of play this off my phone into the microphone here. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear.
we'll do it in
And-
post.
Yeah, well, we'll listen to it right now. Here we go.
Well, what's wrong? He is an owl. You are all owls. And not shitty owls either. Hoo-hoo. I'm the only great owl, but you are all owls looking out for one another. I would like to thank you for listening to Hoo-hoo. Community Campgrounds, starring Nicole's cat, Variable Rob's hair, Step Chase, Bill Gerard, Mike Chin's dirty ginger chest hair. Game over UK, sweaty butt. Greg's tank top. Chris MJW's sheep. Mark Kane, it's $2. Dr. Willie and his boomerang. Viva La Pedro's white glove. And everybody else that was part of the show. Sorry if I forgot you, but there's been a bunch. Anyway, season 2 was going to star Stu's roller skates, Duke's book, Gary's boner for Verbal Rob's hair, Bongo's brains, and so many more. But I think it's been canceled. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I'm going camping.
All right. So that was that speak pipe, which it's amazing when you see all the different characters that he put out there to all the different podcasts. Now, that being said, he sent in another one. This is actually from Jason, and he wanted to make sure we understood and the listeners understood kind of what he was doing with this. So I want to play this one as well.
Hey everybody, it's Jason. Hey, I would like to thank all of the podcasts out there that put up with all these speak pipes I've been sending. It was just basically an attempt to bring all you guys closer together, to get everybody talking and maybe get you all to hang out at EGX and everybody. I just want everybody to be friends and support each other and even like go buy Duke's book. Or Catch Co from True Skills guys. Maybe G4TE should pop up a store for everybody to sell their goods, like a community shop. I don't know. I'm sure all y'all got something good to sell. But mainly Extra Life. I think that November, when you guys all come together, I think that's what it all needs to be about. I highly support your efforts, and I probably won't stream, but I'll be there for you guys. So appreciate it, and again, thanks for putting up with all my speak pipes.
All right.
I'm so touched. I'm in tears.
The music, by the way, the music was very sombering. I'm like, oh.
You know what that was, I think, unless I'm wrong. That was the theme song from Twin Peaks. Anybody ever
Which is
watched
very
Twin Peaks?
fitting. Which is very fitting,
Yep.
considering the subject matter.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason, you know what? Thank you so much. The speak pipes got a little crazy. We're not gonna lie. We often were like, but at the end of the day, you absolutely did. You know what you set out to do, which you got us all interacting. You did get everybody thinking about the other podcasts and what was going on, and we are one giant community. And as he said, Extra Life is around the corner, and that is kind of the day where we do all join forces together, and we go forward and do all kinds of things. And Robin, are you going to play something for us right now?
There is one more.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
uh-oh.
Oh, oh, it's the great owl here. Once upon a time, Knuckles' dog got trapped in Mechanic's toolbox, and Verbal Rob's hair was everywhere. Oh, oh, P.I., we're coming together. The Great Owl is going to save everyone, and the sweaty butthole is better than anything than Jesus has ever had. I tell you what, Stu, Chinny, you can't hide. I'm coming to get you, and P.I. will laugh. You'll camp in the forest, and it'll be all come together with Verbal Chews, Stew Mechanics. Yes, yes, I tell you.
I can do it too.
No, that sounded like the Great Owl had emphysema. All right.
Sorry, Jason. I had had enough tonight, and I just had to do that.
All right. We
Thank
do,
you.
though, want to thank
Thanks,
the
Jason.
effort that was made by Jason, because that ultimately is what I want to recognize. He did take the time. He sent in speak pipes, which anybody can send in speak pipes. And you can ask us questions. You can give us feedback. We're open to it all. And we do really appreciate people taking the time to make the efforts. So that is the big takeaway from that. Now, the other big takeaways, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I wouldn't mind on a Saturday night to go watch what these guys look like and do. It's probably not nearly as exciting as you think, but you can. Just jump on over to twitch.tv twitch.tv/OC podcast. We're here 11 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. West Coast Pacific time, and 6 p.m. East Coast time. You can always email the show podcast@ocpod.com, or you can tweet us at OC_podcast, or you can find us on Facebook. Apparently, we're everywhere. Facebook, fb.ocpod.com. That's where our Facebook group is. And we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're out of wine, but we are on iTunes, we're on Stitcher. Give us YouTube reviews, give us Stitcher reviews. I think they have them. Give us iTunes reviews. It helps us get found. That's the important part of that. And also, in terms of clubs on the different gaming systems, we do have podcast clubs out there. I believe we have one on the PS4, or a group, I think, on the PS4. But I know for sure we have one on the newest update for the Xbox One. It is in preview right now, though, so that's not rolled out to everyone yet. So if you're not in the preview program, look for it once it rolls out. It's OC Podcast Club. And you can find people to game with. There's a lot of good people gaming around. And then also, you'll find people from other clubs. Because we mingle. We're like a big network party. All right.
Juices flow.
We're letting the juices flow. Let's talk signing off. Pineapple juice for the win. Nicole. Walk us down this path.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank our chatters and those who chat with us while we Twitch live to our listeners, because without them, we wouldn't be here. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you can do so at nicole@ocpod.com. If you want to send an email, at OC_Amaryllis for Twitter. Amaryllis on the PS4, which I promise one of these days I will get hooked back up. And Amaranth on the Xbox One. I'd also like to send a shout out to your wife.
Thank you.
I hope she feels better. I really do. And to our dear friend Dorian, who is doing a bang up job considering his situation. Very
Yes.
proud of how he's doing. And to Mark, who's sleeping because he's a lazy arse.
Or
Yes.
Arse. Kim.
Arse.
Yeah, I'm shout out you guys again, like normal. You know, it's always fun. You know, I try to explain to people what we do here, and they don't understand, but it's fun. To our viewers and our listeners and all that, you know, thanks for showing up. You're the reason why we're here. So,
You people.
yeah, for you people, you know, thank you for being here. And yeah, if you want to reach me, I'm at GamerGirl on Twitter, at GamerGirl27 on Twitter, GamerGirl27 on Xbox, and Kim at OCPod if you want to send me an email. So, yeah, how about you, Robin?
yeah, Robin's arse now. You'll get me at Bongo the Seeing and at Robin at ocpod.com. I want to shout out Dorian again. Yeah, Dorian, the lad, and you're doing a, what was the term you used there, Nicole? A damn banging job.
Bang up. No, a bang up job. Not
a
a
bang
dang,
up
no.
job.
Bang up.
You get a bang up job there, Dorian, as well, and have fun. Get out that stress. And Skulldugger, I want a big shout out to Skulldugger. Skulldugger was on the podcast a lot in the past. He does a lot of DJ work now, a lot of mixing. Look him up on SoundCloud. And I was listening today to a mix of his called Angel's Ocean Machine, and it is superb. If you were a fan of Kraftwerk way back, this sounds like Kraftwerk's new album. It's brill. So Skulldugger, great music to listen to, great mixes. And you guys, thanks very much. This has been fun tonight. I've got wine to drink, so we will drink wine, and it's good to podcast. And lastly, EGX next week. Please, if you're coming, let us know. Do not go to that show and walk around going, I wish I had have contacted the Mighty Owl. Because we'll be there and we'd love to say hello. So. Greg.
Well, one, I want to thank my camera because this entire time I realized my gamma settings were way off. I've been like red-faced. I couldn't figure out what you made the red nose reference before. I understand now that I looked at my camera settings. That's what I get for having a cheap little camera. So there's that. I want to shout out the listeners. As always, we do this for you guys, so thank you very much for coming in on a weekly basis, listening to the show, taking part in the community. We really do very much appreciate it. A big shout out to Jason Johnson, who continues to be just an anchor for the show and giving us trivia each and every week.
So what was that? Sorry, what was that?
An anchor for the show.
Oh, anchor. Sorry.
Yes.
I heard anger.
An anchor. Yes.
I heard wanker.
A wanker. Yes. He's also no. Jason is far from being a wanker.
Oh.
No, he's a good guy. He gives us trivia each and every week that is interesting, is different, and it's not exactly easy. So.
No.
Yeah. So thank you to him. Thank you to the three of you for making the show tonight. It's lovely to see the three of you, and. Shout out to my wife as well. Hope she does feel better because it's kicked her ass. I haven't seen her this down in quite some time. So, but outside of that, NFL is back, baby. Loving football.
Yes.
It's been. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Yep. There's been some great, fantastic games. Even at the expense of my team, but that's okay. I think I can't think of anything else. So now I'm in charge of doing the music. And by the way, I had the new intro. I didn't realize it was sitting right in my stupid folder box in front of me. So I'm going to play our outro music now. I know, totally slacker. So Mark, at least we have the new outro, as far as I know. It's going to start any moment. Any moment.
Pineapple.
Exactly.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.